Hi everyone, we are going to continue with functions and scope lecture this week. My name is Dr. Muhammed Gödek from Boğaziçi University, Computer Engineering Department. By the end of this chapter, you will learn how to define and call functions, how to use inputs and outputs, the role of local variables and namespaces, how to use default parameters and the input function, and how to call functions within other functions and return multiple values. Functions are reusable pieces of code. They are not run in a program until they are called or invoked. Functions have some characteristics such as name, parameters, document string, body, and return something. Let's have a look at skeleton of a function. First of all, we need to use definition keyword to define a function. It is def. And then we will give name to our function, but please be careful to choose any name which makes sensible for your function. And then it will take parameters, and here with the triple double quotation mark, we will or we can describe what does this function for. We call them document string, and the main body. The main body includes the main codes in your function. And to be able to call your function, you should define call from outside. And the parameters outside we are put inside of this call, called as an argument. And don't forget, you need to put arguments inside of the function once you try to call it. If you don't put any arguments here, because it's supposed to put argument here, right? That it will give error. And here I will show you how we can see description about function by using commands of help, that one. And what if we use prints and put inside of it function name? Let's go to Anaconda. First of all, we will define our function like in the example. Then if we put help command and put the name of function, it will return us the description inside of it we defined before, as you can see. And if we put function name inside of print command, we will see the data type, it is function, and the location, it's saved in the memory, right? And variable scope. There are two types of concepts to describe variable scope. The first one is formal parameters, which is inside of the function. Here, x called as a formal parameter, and the other parameter type is actual parameters, which described outside of the scope. It is global scope, actual parameter. And here we can see if we forget to put return or print end of the line of a function, it will return nothing. It will return just non-values, right? Let's have a look at that one. For example, we define function here first of all, run it, and I call, okay, first of all I will call that one. I will appoint is even 3 to value a, variable a. Then I will appoint is even a to variable b, right? Then, by the way, this function for checking if the variable you put inside here, like I, if it is even numbers or odd numbers. Even numbers are, 2, 4, 6, 8. Once you divide by 2 these numbers, the remainder will be 0. And if I put this equal, it will check it if it is 0, remainder number, or it will 1. If it is 0, it will return true. If it is 1 or 2 or whatever, it is 1 or it's just 1. If it is 1, it will return false. In this example, if I put 3, if I send 3 inside of the function here, 3, it will come first of all here, it will print inside is even, then it will go here, 3 divide 2, the remainder will be 1. So it's not equal to 1, so it will return false value, right? Let's do together. And if I print A, it will false. If I print B, it will return true because it is even number. And I wanna draw your attention to this point. If I forget to write return, it will not return anything. Let's do together. If I again define my function without returning anything, and again if I appoint these values and if I try to print, it will return none, as you can see, and also here none, right? So once you describe your function and if you want to see some results, don't forget to put either return keyword or print. Now it is working. And if I make it comment, and if I open that one, I mean if I want to just see print, not return anything, I can write here print and my function. I will define again. Okay, let's open that one, make that comment now. Okay, let's remove. Okay, now I compile again by using print, and if I write is even 3, then it will print false because I put here print. So no need to write one more time print here, right? Okay. Now we can see the difference between return and print. As I described before, I just read now here and skip. Return only has meaning inside a function. Only one return executed inside a function. So it means you cannot write more than one return at the same time in your function. Call inside function, but after return statement not executed has a value associated with it given to function caller. Once we come to print function or comment, print can be used outside functions, can execute many print statements inside a function. So you can use more than one print inside of a function, right? And code inside function can be executed after a print statement, has a value associated with it, output to the console. Let's continue with other concept, variable scope. Here our example you can see. Once we check global scope here, we have our function definition here, and it is outside of the function. Let me write outside. And here, once we compile that one, and once we continue the outside of function, here we are appointing number 3 to variable x. Then here we appoint f(x) value to variable z. X was 3 here, so it will come here as a 3. And once we go to inside of function, 3 plus 1, 4, and it will be 4, that one 4, and it will return 4. So here will return 4 and z value will be 4. Okay, we explain here. Let me check one more time. Okay, it is our example which we described just 5 seconds ago. Here we are gonna define or compile our function, and we will appoint 3 to x, and we will appoint fx to z. And once we run it, we will see x still 3, because you can't change x variable from outside global, from outside of function. You can't change the number inside of function. So it is still 3, but z is 4. And let's continue with that one. First of all, we just give example for functions arguments. For example, it is a, right? We can put here any data types like integer, string, float. Even we can put here functions as arguments, like that one. For example, function inside function a, and now here functions are arguments. Now in this example, we have 1, 2, and 3 different functions. In the first function, function A, it is just printing some string values. In second function, function B, it is taking one parameter and it is print string, then it is returned this parameter again. In the last function, function C, it is taking some parameter inside. Even it can be function, as I said before, and after that one it is printing some string and it is returning and calling other function. I know it is at the moment a little bit complex, but I will explain by using example, right? Just give me seconds. Okay, first of all here, how it is working. Let's try to understand logic. First of all, again, it is, or they are our functions, and it is our comments. First of all, in the first comment, we are printing function A. But if you go to function A, there is no return right here. So it will return nothing. It just prints this string. And if we go to second example here, 5 plus function B as a parameter 2. To be able to calculate what it will return here, we need to go function B, that one, and put 2 as a parameter inside. So it is gonna return 2, right? Then it will print 7. But okay, and the last example and comment here, if we try to put function A as a parameter of function C, first of all we need to go function C and we put here function A, and that one again function A, we have brackets. Now it will return and call function A, right? If you go to function A, there was no any return values, so it will return nothing. It is none. Yep, as you can see, it's also explained here. And for better explanation, I use other example. Let's go to code one more time. Okay, here I describe two different functions, adding and average, right? Adding takes two different parameters, a and b, and returning the result of a plus b. And average, first of all, again, it is taking a and b, two parameters. It can C and D. You can change it, it doesn't matter, right? And then here we are appointing the result of adding functions to t. And here there's a return comment, and it will return average of t divided 2. So let's go step by step. First of all, after describing our function, we are calling print and average for 6. If we go to average function here and write 4 and 6, then it will go to first line adding 4 and 6. Let me write right side as a comment. Adding 4 and 6. If we go to adding function here and write 4 and 6. It will return 4 plus 6. It is 10. So now here is 10. So it means t equal 10, right? Once we go to one more line down, it will return. Then it will divide 2 to 2. So it is 10 divided 2, 10 divided 2 equal to 5. So this function will return 5. So it is print 5, so it will print 5 here. And let's continue with scope example. Inside a function can access a variable defined outside. It means if we define outside x equal 5, once you call function, it will go to here, and then x equal 1, x equal x plus 1, so it will be 2, x will be 2 here, and it will print 2, right? Once we call that one, it will print 2. Then we will go to other comment, print x. X is 5 because outside of function we described x as a 5 here. And in the second example we have one function here, it is g, and it is printing x, and it is printing x plus 1. After definition of function, we are going to first comment here, or first line, x equal to 5. And in the second line, it will call g5 function. Let's go here, write 5. There is no anything about y value inside, so it will just print x. Print x means 5. It is coming from here, by the way. And it will print 5 plus 1, 6. Then if you print x again, it will be 5. But once we come to last example here, if I define function hy, and if I define x equal 5, and if I call h function here, it will be h5, right? Let's calculate what is h5. Write 5 here. Inside of the function, there is no anything about y. So I cannot put 5 value 2 inside of it. But once we go inside of function, we will be able to see x equal x plus 1. But what is x? There is no any explanation about x inside of function, so it will give error, right? Okay guys, I continue. Here you have 1, 2 and 3 examples. You can put these codes onto your Anaconda and see the results, what will happen and why. And here we have one more good example. In global scope, we have g function, x and z. Here we have one function, and inside of function we have one more here. And outside of function, we appoint number 3 to x, and we appoint g3 to z. And let's start with the first step, x equal to 3 and z equal to g3. And here we will go to function as a g3, and inside of function we have h function here. It means once it's called, it will print some string like abc, and x will be 3 plus 1, it means 4, and then it will print gx equal to 4, and it will call here h, it means print ABC, then return 4. So it will be 4, then Z will be equal to 4. To try to understand better, you can try it on your Anaconda and see what will happen. I will skip here. And okay, the question is coming here. What if I define a function like function 1 and I called function 1 here? What we're supposed to see? You will see x values in the screen as a 1 or 1. And second question, if I define function 2 here and if I write x1, x equal 1, and if I call function 2, what we're supposed to see? Okay, here x equal 1 and function 2. You will see 99 in the screen. And in the last question, what we're supposed to see? First, we define y, variable y, and we appoint number 30 to y. And then we define function here and we call function again. What we're supposed to see is the question. So the function cannot access local variable y where it is not associated with a value. You can try and see and understand why. And there is one extra information, it is global variable. If we define y equal 30 and we define function, then if we ask what is y value now, you can print and see. And functions can take multiple parameters. Like, if you check the example on the screen, here all functions take 1 and 2 parameters each. And if I send 6 and 7 to function here, 6, 7, 6, 7, it will print 42. And if I send 15 and 3 values here, 15 and 3, it will print 5. And be careful here. It's the question, what we're supposed to see in this function and why? Why these two functions' results are not same? Because once we write 15 and 3 here, y was 3, x was 15. So the order will change, right? Once we check that one, it is x divide y, but here it is y divide x. So it's supposed to see 0.2 float, right? And here we have two more examples. Let's say we have a function here like that one, and we try to find division of 15 and 3. It will come here 15 and 3 in this order, and the order will change here, right? Because y was equal to 3, x was 15. So you will see in the screen 0.2. But if we come to this example, it's a little bit different because it is predefined parameters here. We are saying, okay, y equal 15, x equal 3. So it will automatically appoint inside of the parameters of function, like that one. Then y will be 15 and x will be 3. So it's supposed to see 5 this time, right? And we will continue with predefined parameters. In Python, some functions, print also, a function, right? Function example has some predefined parameter or parameters. If we go to Anaconda and write like this, print, let's go together and see. Okay, print Python is very easy. If I run it, I will see like this, right? Python space is space, very space easy. I didn't put any symbol or any parameters to put space between strings, but still there is a space here, right? Here and here. So it means print function has already space value as a predefined. But can I change this predefined function for print? Maybe I want to put not space between strings. Instead, star. To do it, we should add separated variable like that one after comma. If I run it, it will put star instead of space. So, can we do a predefined parameters by using functions? Is the question. For example, in this example, we have function here. This function calculates square root of numbers. Then if I call my function, I should write not print for, I should write print square underscore roots and 4 to call my function. Then it will go here as a 4. Number 1 is 4. 4 plus plus 1 divided 2 will calculate to square root. It is 2 and it will return 2, right? So here will be 2, it will print 2. And again, I can send to this function square underscore root 16 and 3. Let's find here what it will happen. Then number 1 will be 16, root degree will be 3, right? Then here root equal to 16 star star 1 divided 3. So it will return. Let's calculate together. Let me calculate and come back. So I calculate it. It is something like 2.52. So it will print 2.52, right? Then, if you don't want to send these two parameters every time, and if you only want to calculate root degree as a 2, as a predefined parameters, we can define our function like that one. Okay, it will get number, yes, 100%. But if the user doesn't specify any root degree, take it as a predefined 2. So we are doing like this. So root degree is a predefined function. So I mean, if I write here square underscore root and my numbers, for example, 16, and I just send it like this, it will take my root degree as a 2. If I write square root 25, it will return exactly 5. Now the question is coming for you. By the way, I didn't mention before, we have one more function it is input. We are using that one to get input from users. For example, if I ask username and if I want to print it, I can use this quotes. First of all, I should define my variable, which I will take all names inside of it as a string. Then I ask, okay, please write your name. Then user will type the name and it will print the screen. Okay, you typed your name. To better explain, let's go to Anaconda one more time. I will open that one. Okay, let's go there. I will write, for example, name and input. Can you enter your name? Then I will print your name. Okay, I will say your name is name variable. Okay, if I run it, it will ask my name. I will put my name and enter. Then it will return by printing your name is Mohammed. Like this, you can take any input from users like name, surname, age, country, all values, all data structure like integer, string, float. And the question is, and it is so important by the way, how we can see the type or what we're supposed to see once I ask the type of data. It is always string. Whatever you write here after input, it is always string. I mean, let me go one more time. Here we ask the name and we put it, we type it, and we print it right. Okay, let's check it. What is the type of name variable? As you can see, it is string. If you remember first class, if I ask age, okay, input, what's your age? Then I will print your birth year equal to 2025. The difference between 2025 and your age, right? We can calculate like this, the year you birth. Okay, if I write 31, then it will give error because, as I said before, at the moment age value is string, like as you can see here, right? So to be able to change it to integer, I should put integer translation here. Now if I run it one more time and if I write my name, sorry, my age, then as it is integer now, it can calculate the difference between 2025 and age. So my birth year is 1994. Okay, likewise, we have example here. We try to find square root any number by asking to user, right? You can define a function like that one. Okay, and here we are calling the function by typing square root. Then it will come here. Okay, enter your number, whatever you want to find square root of, and then it will calculate and it will return. But if you pay attention, you will see the error here, right? You need to write here either integer translation or float, like that one. And functions can return multiple values. To be able to show it, we can give example like that one. You can calculate area of circle and you can calculate circumferences of circle by defining a function, and it will return two values, the area of circle and the circumferences of a circle. By the way, it is tuple type. We will see it maybe next week or 2 weeks later. No worries. Please do it yourself and see the results. Thank you very much for joining this lecture.